going
let you
on?
know what's going on. One street over from where you living. Oh, I hope you're having a good morning. It feels, it's just one of those. We're getting into the fall kiss in the air, and I just love it. It's cooler out there. It feels so nice. But I know we're going to be cold, and the trees are going to be dropping their leaves soon, and I'm not looking forward to that. But it is one of my favorite times of the year. And if you live up in Robertson County, you get to smell the tobacco barns and all that fun stuff. It's just so cool. It's just neat. But welcome to it. Today, we had tried to talk with Kelley Armstrong. We had a miscommunication. She wanted to talk via phone because her school starts super early, and she's at Watauga, I think. We're going to have her call in just a minute. So we're coming back around and visiting with one of our principals, one of our local principals this morning. So super excited about that. She's going to be calling in just a minute. We're waiting on her phone call. So Kelley Armstrong is going to be calling in to talk to us about her school this morning. And then we're going to have a visit from United Way as we do on Thursday. So we're super excited about that as well. But I believe, Kelley, are you with me?
Yes, ma'am, I
Awesome. I love it when things work. Awesome,
am.
awesome. And it's so funny. As I was pulling in here this morning and I'm always running late coming to the radio station because I have a long day because I teach. People just don't
Right.
really realize what the life of a teacher is like. They really don't. They don't. And we're getting ready for our fall break, and I know we're all just going, ah.
Amen.
Amen. Because it's so funny. They don't realize how quickly we have to shove our lunch down our face. For those teachers who go in the lunchroom and try to eat with kids, I can't imagine how you do it. It is just,
Yes,
when I
ma'am.
first stepped into the classroom, my friend my friend Muriel Barnett, who taught for 31 years, she goes, well, how'd it go? And I said, you can't take your eyes off of them. That's how it is. And I can't imagine in an elementary setting. Oh my gosh. How long have
You
you
need to
been?
come visit us sometime.
I need to. Well, but I'm here and I'm working all the time when you're working, but I would love to do that. But so tell me, how long have you been principal you're with Watauga? Watauga.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you
Yes,
been
ma'am.
there?
19 years this year.
Bless. My goodness. Now, do I call you
Yes.
doctor? A lot of some of our principals are doctors.
Oh, no, ma'am. No,
Okay.
ma'am. I'm just Kelly.
Well, there you go. I like that. But I just always like to ask because, that's a lot to get your doctorate. So that's
Yes,
something that
ma'am.
I will not be doing, but, it's a lot of study. So I just wanted to get that straight. So we're talking with Kelley Armstrong. She is our principal at Watauga Elementary. And it was so funny when we had the miscommunication on Tuesday, and it's no big deal. I've always got something to say, so I can always, tell people stuff.
Thank you.
So no big deal at all. But it was so funny when you and I were communicating yesterday, trying to work all this out. You were talking about how busy your day is first thing in the morning. When do y'all start? What time do y'all start?
Our doors open at 6:40, and the tardy bell rings at 7:10.
No wonder it's hard for you to get on radio with me. So the tardy bell is going to ring while we're talking.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have people kind of handling things while you're like, I got to go talk to this crazy woman?
I do this morning. They were willing to step up.
Good.
Normally, I'm out in the car rider line, but our SRO is helping us out this morning, so I'm all yours.
Well, thank you to your SRO. I appreciate that. We absolutely love our SROs. I mean, they are
Yes, ma'am.
just the best. They are so helpful to us, and they just really do pick it up in so many ways. Well, I know that Jim Bella set up these interviews at the first of the year for us to talk to all of our principals across the Robertson County School District. And he said, what are you going to ask them? What can I tell them? I said, I want to know what they're most proud of about their school. So let's just start right there. What would you say that because 19 years, man, you've been there a minute. So what are you
Yes,
most proud
ma'am.
of?
I think our community and our faculty as a whole, we are blessed to be one of the smaller schools, and so it really allows us to get to know our families. And most of our teachers retire out of their positions here,
Wow.
and so we've all somewhat grown old together. And so I'm really blessed to have been a part of such a great community where we have such great parents and faculty that they are willing to step up whenever you need them to, and they really, really have our kids' best interest at heart.
I love that. I love that. And you're right. There's nothing wrong with growing old together. You're right. I love that. Well, and my husband,
Well, it's
go ahead.
better than the alternative.
Absolutely, we love it, but it's all good. And I love that you credit your community, and that's a good lead into my next question. What community does Watauga serve?
We are the Ridgetop area.
Okay.
We have a lot of weird addresses because we are on the very edge of Robertson County. We have some Goodlettsville addresses, we have some Greenbrier addresses, and then we have the Ridgetop community. And in some instances, if you are looking at the southern end of our school district, it depends on which side of the road you live on as to whether you come to Watauga Elementary or if you go to Davidson County. So it can be tricky sometimes.
So you're right on the edge, and I'm sure people are
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
they really want to be out of Davidson. Let's be real. I'm just saying, I know, because I know a lot of people that are, and it's nothing, we won't go there, but anyway, there's there's a good reason to be in Robertson County because it's just the culture.
Yes,
It's a
ma'am.
different culture.
Absolutely.
And you guys are a feeder school for eventually to get to me at Greenbrier High School, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's
All
correct.
right. So will all your kids end up at Greenbrier High School eventually?
Should. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
cool.
We it's always neat to have. We do at the end of the year. Greenbrier High School always brings the senior class, and they do a senior walk through
Yep.
the elementary schools,
Mm-hmm.
and it is always so gratifying to see the students that started here and to see how far they have come and to see their accomplishments. So um, we're very, very lucky that because we do know our students, they'll come back and visit us, and we certainly do enjoy having them um, to see what all they have accomplished in the time that they've been away from us.
I would imagine that some of those seniors occasionally will give an honorary diploma to one of their elementary teachers.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I've been fortunate enough to get two
Oh,
myself,
oh, how wonderful.
and it really is an honor because it's sometimes students that you would never have thought that that one small thing that you
Yeah.
did. And I know the first one I ever got, the young lady said that she gave it to me because I always spoke to her and called her by name every morning, and that
Oh.
that meant a lot to her. And who would have ever thought that such a small thing could have been so significant to her?
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Isn't that cool?
Yes, ma'am.
That's just the neatest thing. And I've got to give a nod to Samantha Grimes because she's the one who is just the energy behind that Renaissance program at Greenbrier High School that it pushes the kids to do their honorary diplomas where they go back and say, "Hey,
Yes,
you made a difference in me getting to this point." And I just love that program. But I think that is so cool. And we're talking about I want to come and visit you guys. Since you are a school that feeds Greenbrier High School, I could possibly do like a little field trip down there to
that
bring.
you surely could. And
Yeah.
you know what? If
Ooh,
you
we
want
could.
to interview some interesting folks, we'll put you in kindergarten. They can.
Oh.
They will tell you all the things you need to know.
Oh, that's fun. We got to work that. I've got your number and your email and contact. We're going to work something out after fall break. That sounds like a
Absolutely.
fun thing to do. And it also too, it helps set them up to say, what grades do you serve? What is it through
We
fifth?
we're K through 5. Now we
Okay.
do have one of my favorite things we have here is we have an employee daycare. We
Oh,
were the first in the
wow.
county to be able to open one, and we have babies down there from 6 weeks through 4 years.
Wow.
And so that has been something that has really served our not only our school but other schools in our cluster to have a daycare that's right in the middle of the school area and for our teachers to be able to walk down at lunchtime and say hello to your little one means a lot.
You better believe it. I had no idea that y'all had that available. Wow. That
Yes,
is
ma'am.
cool. Yeah.
And have to say, it was a little selfish on my part because my granddaughter's down there.
Oh, wonderful.
So I had some great incentive to get it
Sure.
up and going. And Joe Barnes Elementary is currently working on open one at their school too, and I think it's something that will really catch on in the county. It's
Hmm.
just a great service that we can provide affordable daycare to our teachers and for them to have that opportunity to interact with their little ones during the day.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that idea. That is fabulous. And my one of my daughter-in-laws, she works at a school out in Jackson, Tennessee, that they have a daycare. And it has just
Uh-huh.
been such a peace of mind to help us to see that um, we've got, our grandchild is that close to his mama during the day. So that's
Absolutely.
just wonderful.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. So, what have you got coming up at Watauga? Because I know we're all in fall break. Your kids will they go all day Friday or do they have a half day?
Yes, ma'am. We are all day tomorrow,
Okay.
and each fall um, we do a safety walk, and we are going to do our safety walk tomorrow. It's all the students. We break them into groups, and we walk to Ridgetop First Baptist Church, which is just a little piece up the road from us, because that would be our off-campus evacuation site should we ever need to
Okay.
evacuate the school. So we're blessed that usually we have pretty days, and I think tomorrow's going to be a great one. So we'll start about 9 o'clock in the morning, and we'll be taking groups all day to walk up. And the church is always so hospitable and has people to greet us. And it's just so that in the event of an emergency, if a child were to get separated from their group, they know exactly where they need to run to for that safe place. And so it serves a lot of purposes besides the fact that we all enjoy a good walk. It also gives them that knowledge that they can access in case they needed it in an emergency.
I love that. I've seen y'all walking and I didn't know what that was. But I
Well,
just
you
thought, it was, I didn't know. I just knew it was something school related. And of course, you have all kinds of security and things like that, making sure those kids are
yes,
safe.
ma'am.
But I've
Yes,
seen that, and now I know why. Well, I mean, that's wonderful because those little ones, the more you can clarify, this is what we're going to do if if this unthinkable happens, we've got you. And because
right,
kids need to know there's a plan. And
right.
I love that. I had no idea that that was safety related. I thought you were just taking a stroll. Just
Hey, and it surprised me. The kids really enjoy it. Now, some of them will complain that it's a long walk, but most of them, they love being out in the fall weather, and they really enjoy being able to take that walk with us. So we're looking forward to tomorrow.
I think that'll be wonderful. So, we'll if we see you, we'll give you a honk on the horn and encourage you and wave
Okay.
and all those kinds of things. I love that. Now, so you're getting ready to see y'all be going because I mean, in high school we have the school board pushed out this new policy, and it's not a new policy; it's a revisited policy where they've got some exam exemptions, and we normally do midterm exams right before fall break. So we would have second and third block, or third and fourth block today, and then first and second block tomorrow. Well, some of the kids are exempt because their grades are good and
Mhm.
they've got good attendance. So some of our kiddos are done. If you hear about some of the high school kids, they're like, well, I don't have to go back Thursday and Friday. That is why. It's because they've been studious and they've performed well and they've been in school on time and not had a bunch of absences. And that's why they're getting a couple of extra days off. So I know if you've got high school students, elementary students, and all of that, if you're trying to understand why that's different, that is why. But
Right.
I didn't really know why the middle school kids or the elementary kids all went all day on Friday. I thought maybe you have a half a day, but you have a half a day before the Christmas break, right?
Yes, ma'am, we do. Uh-huh.
Okay. And that's kind of the same thing that we'll be getting into. You may see some high school kids that get to have a couple extra days off because they've been on time, they've had attendance, and they've gotten the grades. And so maybe they'll get out 2 days earlier than their high school
Sure.
peers and their elementary and middle school siblings. So
You know,
that's what's
those are
going on.
actually, those days are some days that we actually have former students will come and visit us.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful. That's
it's,
wonderful. Yeah.
yes,
But
yes.
so coming back from fall break, then, so we kind of clarified how the dismissal and all that's working this week. But coming back from fall break, what do you? I mean, I know you've got your safety walk coming up tomorrow. Are you going to do fall festival type stuff? Do you have some of those kinds of things planned?
We do, October the 25th. We will be doing our version of we do a hall of treats instead of a trunk or treat. And from
Oh, okay.
6 until 8, we will invite our families in. And we have a Halloween ball in our cafeteria. They all come dressed in their costumes. So we have a sort of a costume ball. And then they're able to go down the hall of treats, and our faculty is there passing out candy for them.
I love that idea. I like that
Yes,
idea better than the trunk or treat because I'm trying to participate in our trunk or treats. This year is I think on the 24th we're doing it. I can't
ma'am.
remember. I'll have to look at the date, but we've got a trunk or treats up at Greenbrier High School, and I don't know how to decorate a trunk. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I could do my door. I could get my room ready pretty easily with some lights and stuff, but doing a trunk's a little more difficult. So I kind of like your idea, and I love the idea of the Halloween ball in the cafeteria. That's cool. So what?
Yes, ma'am. They enjoy. They love dressing up, and then we have a costume contest, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my next question. Is you going to have a costume contest? Are you going to?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
absolutely. Now, do you have to? This is something that this is a Christian radio station. This is a worldwide Christian broadcast company that we're here at 1100 WSGI. So I'm a very big Jesus person, and my faith is concerned about the darkness of Halloween. And
Sure,
so
absolutely.
I always tell my students, I mean, and I'm not preaching at them. I'm just telling them, you don't bring darkness in my room. You just
Right,
don't. I don't want
absolutely.
it. I just don't want that darkness around me. And so, because I've got a lot of them are really into horror flicks and all that, and I do audio video production, so I have to really, put some boundaries up. I'm like, we're not doing it. And
Right.
so, do you struggle with that? I mean, I would think the elementary wouldn't be as bad with kids wanting to bring. Do you have like some parameters on costumes and things
Yes,
like that
ma'am.
in elementary?
Any part of their costume that could be considered um, dangerous for someone to come in contact with. Certainly, any type of pretend weapon they have. But even we tell them, even if it's things like a medallion or something that has sharp points on it, they're not allowed to wear that. They're not allowed to wear masks because we need to see their face. Now we do let them
Mm,
paint their face if they
right.
want to, but we need, in the event that we needed to identify each child very quickly, we don't allow them to wear a mask. And so they are really good. Our parents and kids both are really supportive of our efforts to keep them safe. And so we really don't have any issues with them complying with those requests. They're all very glad to help us out.
I would figure it would be easier in elementary. Now you get up in the high school levels, and I mean, it's a little different. And one of the big things that they love to do is the whole, the Michael Jackson. I can't remember what's the name of the song they like.
Thriller?
The Thriller song. Everybody wants to do the Thriller
Yeah.
song, and they want to dress like zombies. And so, I'm like, okay. And they're trying to, always drag me into that stuff too. And I'm like, I'm not a big dress up person. I'm kind of, it's growing on me now. I'm in my third year of teaching, but I've never been in this atmosphere. So once you're in the atmosphere of school, it just changes you.
It
And
does.
it really does. And it's so beautiful. I can't say enough about it. I love it. And that kind of leads into the next question. So, how are you guys staff wise? Had you have open positions? Do you have some
We
things?
do.
Okay, well,
We
let's
do, Miss
talk
LaVerne.
about that.
Yes, if you want to jump down to the lower level, we have a variety. We are currently in need of a crossing guard. We are in need of a CDC teacher, a music teacher, and we have a couple of educational assistant positions open. So we would be happy to have anyone contact us about joining our Watauga family.
All right. You mentioned music teachers. Could somebody, I know from a CTE perspective, from a CTE teacher perspective, we can come in and teach without having teaching certification. Now we have to go through a program that is mine is called Teach Now. It basically teaches me to teach, and it's a state
Hmm.
program that you have to have if you're not a certified teacher. And so I'm
Right.
completing mine right now. There's some that you can go to that are, there's one real popular one up at UT Martin. I know Austin P probably has one too, but um, if somebody was a music person, I've got several friends of mine they've been doing music their whole life, but they're not certified teachers. Would you have to be a certified music teacher to fill that position, or would it be something that somebody that's just a prolific musician could come in and become a music teacher? What would they have to do? Because I know that's a big thing we're working on right now as a district, is kind of growing our own and
Right.
bringing people in and they're getting certified as they're teaching. Would that be something? Because we got some amazing musicians in this area,
Absolutely.
amazing, and they might appreciate being able to have a steady gig so they can do their gigging, on the weekends and things. Well, truly, because I'm a real creative person. I'm working on writing and doing all these things, and teaching is very helpful for that because I've got these breaks where I can just I've got something I'm really working on right now, and I'm looking forward to fall break because I can kind of dig into it, you know. But I still have a good income, with my teaching job. So it is really helpful for people who have other things that they do. Because you do
Right.
have some breaks and things like that. And so I think when you mentioned music, I thought, man, I know some really great musicians that'd be amazing in the classroom. But what would
They
that look
are
like?
um, certified applicants would get first shot at it.
Okay, okay.
But like you said, we are working on growing our own.
Mm,
So if there's someone with a music background or truly any type of background that is interested in teaching music, our HR department is excellent at finding ways to get them certified and as you said, let them work through the process of getting their teaching license while they're actually working with the students. And so it's not a given. If you don't have a teaching license, that doesn't mean that you can't teach. It just means you may have a different path to teaching.
right, right. And I just when I hear things like that, I just want to encourage people because it truly is just like what I said. It changes what you understand about our education system. And people have so many things that they like to say about education when they've never worked in it, and they don't really understand how things are now. And people are like, well, this is how we did it 100 years ago. Well, that's wonderful. We don't now, and we've built this system that we have, and this is what we have to work with. How can we make it better? And how we
Right.
make it better is getting people who love these kids and want to help these kids to grow to be the potential that God created them to be in the classroom. And so, how do we
Exactly.
get those people in there? And so tell me again. You've got the music position, and you had some teaching
A
assistant
special
positions.
education teacher
Okay,
position, and then we've got two special education assistant positions
okay,
open. And then we need a crossing guard out at the road, which is a part-time, easy gig. I think it's about an hour and a half in the morning you get paid for, and an hour and a half in the afternoon. And I've done it. I have stood out in the middle of the road in directed traffic. It's actually pretty peaceful most mornings,
yeah.
actually. So we have that opportunity as well.
My husband. That's kind of we. My husband kind of that's how what maybe opened the doors to us getting into teaching is because he was a safety guy and he worked with the buses and stuff. He started working as a crossing guard and just I don't know we just kind of he's done a lot of different things like that. But the crossing guard position, guys, it's a lot of fun in the sense that you get to know the people that are coming in and out. And he would tell me
Hmm.
about different ones. He goes, "Oh yeah, I saw so and so," and it's just kind of fun. He did that for a little while up around Coopertown before he got into the classroom. We're both in the classroom now. But what are we missing before we move on? Because I know you've got to get back to work. I told you it'd be just a half hour, and I want to respect your time. But what have we missed that we need to cover? This is Miss Armstrong. She is our principal at Watauga, which is our elementary school that sends students to Greenbrier High School. So she's part of my district family for sure. What are we missing? Anything that we haven't talked about?
Nothing I can think of. I would just encourage anyone. It's not about the money, but if you want to be a rock star every day and um, come and really make a difference in somebody's life, I hope that you will look for some opportunities in education because truly it is rewarding, like you said, in ways that you can't even describe until you step in that
You
classroom.
better believe it. And you know what? They've got the pay up to where it's much better than it used to be.
Yes,
Benefits are
ma'am.
incredible. The benefits are excellent. You've got
Yep.
the free, medical clinic that you can go to. So people, I mean, yeah, and it's. I know a lot of people that make a whole lot more money, and that's okay. But again, like you said, it's not about the money, but it's a good living. It is,
Absolutely.
and the benefits and things like that. And if you're somebody like me that does a lot of different things, you do have some time off to where you can pursue those things. So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can't say enough about being in the classroom. And I want to encourage people to retire into teaching. I've got friends out there that are retiring, like my husband and I. We retired from our original careers and now we're teaching and we're having a blast. These kids are keeping us young. We'll do this as long as the good Lord makes us physically able, And
Yes,
so,
that is true.
it's fun. I've really enjoyed talking with you,
Well,
Kelley, and
you as well, ma'am.
I will be in touch because we're going to do something. I'm going to bring my kiddos down there, and we'll figure that out because we can definitely come down and see y'all. We'll work
That
it
would
out.
be awesome.
All right.
You are
Well,
welcome anytime, and I hope that you have a wonderful day and a super fall break.
you as well, Miss Armstrong. She's our principal at Watauga Elementary. Thank you so much for your time this morning. God bless you.
God bless you, ma'am. Thank you. Bye
Thank,
bye.
thank you. Bye bye. Okay, well, we're going to say bye to Miss Kelley Armstrong. She again was our principal up at Watauga, and we wanted to make up that. We're just really enjoying visiting with all of our principals around Robertson County, and we're typically Catherine. You can come on in and sit down. Come on in and sit down. I'm going to do my break real quick. I've got Catherine and Brian. Is Brian still coming in? Well, come on in here and sit down, and let me do my break as you get comfortable, and we're going to continue on. It's United Way Day. It always is on Thursday, and we just love to touch base with them because they're our bridge builder to the nonprofits. But we are going to talk for a moment about Veterans Motorplex racing out there this weekend, y'all. It's going to be a good one. Boy, the next couple weekends going to be the best, because it's going to be cooler. It's going to be perfect. We're going to call the rain off. We're going to just make sure they got rained out last weekend because of all the hurricane stuff coming through. And we just want to really encourage you not to let October get away from you before you get out to the races. And I'm speaking to myself. I'm going to go out to the races. I'm thinking probably not this weekend, but next weekend with my grandson. I want him to see it because it's so much fun. But it's at 6801 Kelly Willis Road up in Greenbrier. Through the end of October, you've got a chance to bring your family out to the races. And guys, this is a blast. You can take a $40 ticket and get up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for one $40 ticket price. Man, you cannot get a night out for that. They got a great concession stand with great food, what you'd expect at a concession stand, burgers and fries and hot dogs and popcorn and all the things. And they have a lot of local kids that run the concession stand, and I just love that. Uh, I've gone through there and seen some of my students working, and some of them, that's their first summer job. But it's a great time. Veterans Motorplex at the Rim. To follow them on social media, follow them at Highland Rim Speedway, because that's where you're going to find out if there's a rain delay, if something's going on to upset the plans that weekend. That's where you're going to get all the information, is by following them at Highland Rim Speedway. It's a Veterans Motorplex at the Rim. Racing season is going to be coming to a close at the end of October. Don't you dare miss it, and be sure to. And when you get out there, please always let Jerry know that U-Turn sent you. All right, Catherine. Well, so good to see you. My
Davidson County.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of all over, but my main office here is in Springfield. I live in Springfield, so yeah, right, yeah.
So, and all this stuff around you, I didn't put this here. Lee Marie, this is our sweet Lee Marie that did this. So you can set those Samaritans.
No, it's fine. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Yeah. What is it?
Samaritan's Purse, and I'm not really sure who's doing that. I'm thinking that that might be South Haven.
Okay.
I don't know who's behind that. She'll let me know. But these campaigns, this is the coolest thing. Samaritan's Purse is also one of the big places that is taking donations for hurricane relief, and you may know something about this too. That's one thing, and this is something that people have asked me, where can we give? And I shared a friend of mine, Jill Dasher, is a woman who I just love. She's amazing, and her husband are ministers out there. And they're the city that they're, and I forget exactly where it is, but their city pretty much got wiped out, and where their church is, from my understanding. She and her husband were away when it hit. They couldn't get back to their kids. When they have older kids, but they got younger ones too. And so we don't have a ton of information from them, but they put up a video, and you'll find it on my Facebook page, of a couple of different places where you can give that will go directly into the community. One of them's a children's home, and one of them, I think, is the church where he pastors. And I know them. You can trust them if you want to send funds. I know that will work. I know Samaritan's Purse. They were excellent in Mayfield because I'm from Mayfield, and we got wiped out. And so I know a lot of people will say that Samaritan's Purse did an amazing job. Churches Across Disaster Relief does great. I'm a big fan of Mercury One because I give to that. That's my old boss's nonprofit. There's a lot of them, but vet them. Make sure that they're doing what they say they're doing.
And they have a local United Way there as well. So
That-
you can, yeah.
So you can go straight to the
Straight
United
to
Way.
that,
There
yep.
you go. There you go. Perfect.
So they can help as well.
Perfect. And so, so just reach out to you and just, and you could take my, and it'll go straight into, you can
So
say,
they'll
take it to this
reach-
community. That's perfect.
Well, they'll reach out directly to that United Way.
Okay.
So, but
There
yeah,
you
if
go.
they need help contacting the United Way, I'm more than
Okay.
happy to assist with that.
Awesome. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to kind of touch on that. I also too want to mention Adam Pope, our dear friend. He's got a song that he just put up, and that's on my Facebook page too. And something else I'm working on. I'm not going to be here next week, but I've got a cousin who her home was flattened in Mayfield, so it was completely wiped out in Mayfield. I want to call her and just ask her, where did your help come from? I mean, from God, of course, but who did you depend on? Because as we're trying to help, talking to somebody that's been through it, I think might be really insightful in saying, what did you need? Where should we put our efforts? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, no, that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of, and I haven't talked to her at all, so I'm not going to tell you what her name is, but I just got to thinking, I thought, man, that might be a really good phone call to have.
Yeah,
Just
somebody
because-
who's been through it already, and then they can say firsthand, this is what I needed. I needed water, or I needed a
Yeah.
flashlight, or I needed X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
And so anyway, that's some things I'm working on. But since you guys are here and United Way is plugged into all the nonprofits, this is a good place to start as we visit with you this morning. We're all mindful of what can we do and how can we do it. And I know we're all just vet. Be sure and vet whatever you're doing, and United Way is a great way to do it because they do the vetting, right?
Yes.
That's what your job is.
Yes,
right?
that is. Yes.
So, where do you want to start today?
Where do I start? Oh, if anybody's seen the United Way office downtown, it's been decorated. I put a little welcome sign out there, and we also have the city of Springfield that was designed by Molly B. That we've got the map on our front window, and it's got a little "You Are Here" sign. So trying to bring a little fun
love
to the
that.
office.
I
So
love that. I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah.
Very good. So
But
you've got decorations up.
a little decorations, but our biggest thing is that our funding process has started. It opened October 1st for the application eligibility review. So that opened October 1st, and it goes through October 25th at 5 p.m.
Okay.
And that is a hard cutoff.
Okay, tell them the from now to when again.
So it's from October 1st from now, and then till October 25th. So everything has to be uploaded in your Giving Matters profile, so givingmatters.com, before October 25th. October 25th at 5 p.m. is our hard cutoff date.
Okay. And what is that process? Because I mean, I know it, but why don't you explain to people if you're a nonprofit
Yeah.
and explain to them why you need to do this and what this is all about, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so this is how you are able to be considered for funding through United Way to be one of our funded partners. So you would need to establish a profile in givingmatters.com if you haven't already. And you can just go to givingmatters.com/request profile. And you want to update your login profile, and then you follow the directions from there. And if you're interested in applying for funding, you must complete the agency eligibility review, which is we refer to it as an AER. So if you ever hear that or see that online, that's what that stands for, agency eligibility review process, to be approved for consideration. And so, like I said, it opens October 1st and it closes on October 25th. If you do not complete the process by October 25th, I cannot stress this enough, you will not be eligible to apply for funding to the next process, and it's a 2-year process, so you wouldn't be able to apply until then. So there is the process through givingmatters.com, and then there's a submission to the AER. There's a checklist through SurveyMonkey, and that link gets sent out. And then obviously if you have any questions or anything else, and you're always more than welcome to don't hesitate to reach out. And if I can't answer the question for you, I can find the answer for you.
Let me ask you this now: for somebody that's already a funded partner, do they have to reapply?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, if you are already a partner, and it's a competitive process. We have a lot of people that didn't make it through a lot of nonprofits that didn't make it through the last round, but are able to apply again. So there's going to be updated financial requirements this year. So depending on how much money that your nonprofit brings in, so depending and it's different brackets. If it's $1 million or over, there has to be an independent audit is required. If it's $9,999 or below to $300,000, or excuse me, $300,000 to $999, certified financial review for the most recent year end is required. And then if it's $300,000 or less, that is when a financial professional, it can be volunteer or paid, has to review the agency's financials and provide documented notes on
And
that.
that's if you have that revenue,
Yes.
right? Okay, if you have those kinds of funds, then you can't be considered for United Way unless you've had all these these audits done. Okay.
Yep, and we have a whole agency eligibility review process that gets sent out. So if you are interested in funding, please don't hesitate to apply and go on there and make sure your Giving Matters profile is updated, and then you just follow the checklist. And a lot of the items are already, you should, in theory, have all of them. They're pretty straightforward, and I can send the email out if somebody didn't get it, or it does go out again. So
Okay, very good. So that's very important. And we'll give those dates again before we finish up today to make sure that y'all understand, because like I said, if it's a hard cutoff and people want to get in on that.
yeah.
And this is a great way to help your nonprofit. There's so many wonderful nonprofits. And that the vetting process, that's what I love about United Way, is because, as I talked about, when you're trying to figure out how to help the people that have been so tragically swept away, that you want to know that it's going. Somebody, my husband was telling me, he goes, I drove by somewhere and it had a sign out and it just looked like, it's like, give here. And it's like, really? What are you doing? And you have to be careful. And that's what I love about United Way, because it's not just the company. It's not like United Way's hierarchy going, okay, yes, you know you. A community of people come in from our community that look at everybody that applies to decide who you're going to fund.
Yeah, there's a whole process.
So it's your peers.
It is, yeah, and the volunteers. So the way that the process works is from October 1st through October 25th. That's when the agency eligibility review process opens.
Okay.
And then the next main thing is November 1st. That will be the release of the 2025 through 2027 request for proposal application. And these are only for agencies that completed the AER process that was due by October 25th, which is why it's so important. You have to have everything in by October 25th.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have some online training for new partners through EC Impact, some application assistance. So depending on which county you're in, your liaison for that county, we have some Zoom meetings set up where you can hop on and ask questions, and we want to make sure that we make the process as smooth as possible. Then December 6th is when the request for proposal applications are due, so 12/6. And then between the 9th and the end of January, that's when we review, the review process is starting. In February is when we'll do site visits. So what we'll need from the community, which I would love to ask if anybody would be interested in, was we need volunteers to help review the applications. And the volunteers that we have are in the individual counties. So you're not going to have somebody from Hickman County reviewing Robertson County applications,
Right.
and vice versa. We're taking people from within the community that know our community and can help review those applications and do the site visits and ask questions and get those answered and go from there.
Okay.
So yeah, it is volunteer based. The volunteers are the ones that are putting their suggestion for funding. It's not my decision. It's a volunteer base, it's really important that we get volunteers from our community.
Well, and I think that just drives home that this is such a great way to give, is because you do know that it's not only going through the vetting process of all this extensive application and making sure you're audited and those types of things on the front end. then your peers that know your community, that knows what the community needs, comes in and says, okay, yes, this is where our focus needs to be. That's what I love about you. I didn't understand United Way until I started sitting across the table from all the folks from United Way and really understanding what they do. And it's amazing. It's an amazing organization. I give out that 211 number all the time.
Oh, yeah,
I
211 is wonderful. And if you ever, need any things, the other thing is at the library now, created kind of some different partners that we have that I've created a one sheet, it's a front and back, and it's at the library. We've got some at the office as well, and I believe there's some at the city as well there. And it's got just different partners that we have and different services. So if you maybe are needing help with shelter, or if you're needing help with paying for different
I have no
things.
idea what that is.
I don't know.
Don't know what to
No.
do.
Oh no.
No idea.
What is it?
I have no idea. There's some kind of alarm going off in here, and I don't know
no.
where it's coming from. I don't know if ILU's here or not to do something about it, but I say we're just going to have to ignore it and go on, because I have no idea where that's coming from. So, ILU, if you're around, you've got an alarm going off in the studio. I don't know what it is, but anyway, ILU Maldonado is our president of Ebenezer Broadcasting, and he does it all. So he may come running here in a minute. I have no idea.
Never a
No
dull
idea
moment.
what it is. But go ahead and finish your thought, and then I tell you what. Remember
Yeah.
where you are.
Okay.
I'm going to do a break. If you would go over there and see if there's something that's obvious, that's a button you can just push, because there might be. I'm going to let Catherine troubleshoot while I talk about. I think it's over this way. Is it that? Push that. Turn it off, maybe. Just turn that off. Okay. No, that's not it. It feels like it's coming over here. I feel like I'm hearing something over this way. So I'm going to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards while you just, I'm sending her way outside of her, what is it?
It's this black box thing. Can I turn it off?
Yeah, sure. Turn it off. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it won't send everything off